más tarde. Más tarde. ¿Qué putas? Ahí está. Compartir. En Facebook. Mejores amigos. ¡Listo! Bueno, debería estar listo. Ay, Dios, no. Ay, Dios, no. Cosas que no debería haber visto hasta ahora. A ver, otro logro. Prepara un slime confitado. Vean, ahí está. Un slime confitado, mi bro. ¡Wow! Hello. Nadie ve nada. Hola, Bujin. Hello.
国生に言われた通りだと確かこんにちは。月は売ってる？
はい。数はどうします？
それは言えない。
正解です。ここからどうぞ。お二人は行幸様が本日招待したお客様ですね。
その通り。
けど今のは客人の暗号ではなく幽変限定の暗号。
待ってたわ。絶運の間から帰った人。
ああ、行幸だ。はじめまして。プレゼントを用意したんだ。気に入ってくれると嬉しいな。
私に？どうも。招待したのは私なのに、かえって迷惑だったかしら。
そんなことないぞ。ひひひ。
この宮殿の位置は全ての山よりも高く、ここからリーユエ港の全貌を見ることができるわ。商売を始めた時からこの宮殿を作るための資金を集めてきた。天中園になった後、凄腕の職人たちに依頼して増築を続け、最初部屋一つ程度の広さだった軍玉閣も今やリーユエ上空の月を覆い隠すほどになった。そしていつか七国を覆うことになると私は信じてるわ。軍玉閣に登れる客人はそう多くない。セピュロス騎士団の代理団長は手紙の中であなたを褒めてたわ。だからあなたがリーユエに着いた日から私はあなたを探した。
何？
そしてあなたたちが防除旅館に着いた時にあなたたちの動向を把握した。
まさかオーナーって七星の部下なのか？
違うわ。防除旅館の者全員奇襲記のところで。そうよね。
ずっと上で見てたのか？
こんな距離から盗み見はできないわ。耳目の働きよ。あなたたちに興味がある。関心を持つのも当然よ。ええ、仙人と付き合いのあるあなたが私たちを信じないのもわかる。 今回は誤解を解くために招待したの。
Algo no me da buena espina de Ningguang.
魔人戦争は聞いたことあるわね。かつて魔人があまたといて長い戦争があった。たくさんの血が流れ、2000年前に戦争は終わった。テイワット大陸に残った7人の勝者は敗者の残骸の上で国や城を作り、七神の時代が始まった。幸運閣は見えるかしら。あれは自然にできた景観ではなく、帝君が戦時中に投げた岩の槍よ。岩の槍の下には七神の座を手に入れられなかったかつての魔人が封印されてる。魔人だけでなく属性の七失星も死ぬことはあるわ。帝君の逝去はリーウェにとって想像できないけど、テイワットの七神は崩れない。次の眼神が現れる。けれど帝君のことは忘れないわ。その時リーウェの人々と仙人の関係はきっと昔とは違うでしょう。新たな時代でもリーウェ七世は帝君の民よ。帝君に歯向かうなんてするわけないでしょ。あの日のこと、あまりにも突然で対応しようがなかった。その場にいたならわかるわよね。七星の敵はとうにリーウェ港にいる。厄介なことになる前に行動しないと。だから私は先祖の亡骸を隠して敵の行動に牽制を仕掛けたの。
その敵って誰のこと？
さあ、どう思う？
ああ、謎でもしてるのか？
正解よ。外の景色は綺麗だけど高い場所にいるとやはり風が強いわ。さあ、二人とも中へどうぞ。
Mira quién llegó. A ver, no lo escucho. No está cargando el audio.
¿Qué onda?
Hola.
¿Qué? 1917.
¿Es acaso un código nuclear?
No, es el hecho de que tengo 1917 primogemas o como se llaman esas mierdas. Y yo ahorita acabo de subir al nivel 40.
Felicidades.
Ya sé. Thank you, papi. Pero estoy viendo si De hecho me voy a esperar. Así que si me sirve de algo ir a...
Qué lugar tan
Vamos a ver.
aburrido.
¿De qué hablas, Dante?
Estoy en el palacio este de Jade, la cámara de Jade, y el exterior es completamente aburrido. No hay cofres, no hay nada.
Oye, Dante,
Dale la
¿quieres que te
vuelta.
tire un spoiler?
No, cállate la boca.
Solo iba a decir la siguiente zona.
Cierra
que-
el pico,
A la siguiente tierra. Solo iba a decir eso.
el rayo.
La del rayo no, güey. Vamos a ir a la tierra del agua.
Ok.
Y Beidou es proveniente de ese lugar.
Ya.
The fuck? Oh my god.
¿Qué pedo con Paimon? Es de lo más superficial. Sí, el lugar está chido, lo que tú quieras, pero se pone como si fuera... No sé. Se excita demasiado con este rollo.
Ya sé. Está bien loca la vieja.
楽にして。我が家のように思っていいから。ええ。ここに招待したのはあなたたちと友人になりたいからよ。かしこまらなくていいわ。
これが伝説のあの壁か？
あら、知ってるのね。
講談師が言ってたんだ。その壁の紙はみんな欲しいってさ。
その壁にはリーウへの秘密があるからよ。商売人は秘密を知りたがるもの。でも旅人、リーウェ商業の秘密はあなたにとって意味ないものよね。あなたは特別。できれば信頼してほしいの。もし私と国政のうち信頼できる相手を選ぶなら。国政を選ぶわよね。それくらい分かってるわ。気の強すぎる彼女が七星になっても私のフォローは必要だと思ってたけど。千人の時代は終わった。
Ya terminaste la
リーウェ七
historia.
星さえもそれを受け入れなければリーウェの未来はどうなると彼女が言った後、
¿Qué dices, José?
Que si ya terminaste la historia.
Evidentemente no, si estoy apenas llegando a la cámara de Jade.
私の心にあった迷いは消えたわ。
Quiero verte. Bueno, de hecho quiero todavía seguir aquí. Te vas a quedar
Pesca
haciendo
ni.
ese pedo, ¿verdad?
帝君の逝去は
うん
七星にとって有
Al
益
chile
ね。
quiero ver tu reacción ahorita.
でも
Que
リーウェのため
llegues
に
a
は
cierta parte de la
七星
misión.
三奪のデマに縛られてはいけないわ。ええ。さっきからあなたは
Los Eagle Fist.
私の意図が分かってるのね。情報を封鎖し亡骸を隠したのは形勢を安定させるため。モンドのようなことは避けたいの。ファリュイは帝君の死を理由に 外交の一線を越えようと数多くの暗躍をしているわ。私もリーウェの天中園として本気で抵抗しないと。総選儀式を許可したのも七星がリーウェを全面管理するための時間稼ぎ。
もう七星が儀式を許可したのはオイラたちを利用して目的を果たすためだったのか。勝利の言った通りだな。そうだ、目的を果たすといえば。
構わないわ。
手土産をあげたらお返しがもらえるって聞いたけど、どうかな。
はあ。
いいわ。素直な人は好きよ。
Chingado, con Paimon en serio me pone en vergüenza.
あなたたちにはたくさん迷惑をかけたもの。そのお詫びとしてここから好きなものを一つ選んでいいわ。
やったー、待ってたぞ。オイラが欲しいのは
Chingado, Paimon, cállate.
あの壁にある紙切れだ。
No.
そんな目で見るなよ。あの壁の紙切れはたとえ爪の大きさでもすごい金になるんだぞ。
Además en eso piensas.
それが丸々1ページだったら選ぼう。一番大きいやつだ。
¿Es en serio? ¿Tengo que? Y por aquí. Costumbres de ley, pues al parecer tengo que... a ver.
選ぶまでもないな。一番大きいページは一番目立つ場所にある。よし、これだ。ふむふむ、何が書いてあるんだ。
Hola, Eduardo.
¿Qué onda, Eduardo?
つけられてる場所ってまさかお宝。
No, Paimon, es un tesoro.
どれどれ。近畿滅却。何なんだ。ファデュイ研究お宝。じゃあ
Paimon, ya cállate, me desespero cuando se pone así de
滅却の札を秘密裏に
avariciosa,
研
la
究
verga.
してるって書いてあるぞ。
Ganas de meterle un zape que se le caiga la pinche coronilla flotante.
ファデュイは裏で悪いことをいろいろしてるってさっき行幸も言ってたよな。でも近畿滅却の札の研究も悪いことなのか。そういえばお前も近畿滅却の札を持ってたな。調べてみるか。
La neta que sí. A veces Paimon es un poco cagante.
そうなのか。じゃあやめた方がいい。
Y más si tiene la pinche voz japonesa.
Tengo la voz
つ
japonesa.
まり行幸への不信感が募るほど彼女の言ったことを調べる必要があるってことだな。
La voz original y el juego es de China, no
行
mames.
幸は優しい人だと思うぞ。でも今はお前の言う通りにしよう。勝利と合流する前にこの資料に書いてある場所に行ってファデュイに探りを入れてみるか。
Esta
もう決めた？ええ、決めたらそのまま取って結構よ。それから軍玉閣で少し休みなさい。適度な休息も旅には大事なことよ。そうかしこまらなくていいわ。
人のならお話しできることはありません。
Vaya, cuánta información. Digamos, pergaminos, bla bla bla. No parece haber nada interesante por aquí. Un montón de mates limpiando.
教皇様は今日も魅力に満ち溢れていますね。
Quizás va a estar Charles afuera de aquí, seguro. Como de que, ¿qué haces aquí, cabrón? No entiendo yo para qué quieren la exubida de Rex Lapis.
Es importante, solo puedo decirte eso.
Yo estoy seguro de que son líes Rex Lapis. No, no es spoiler, Eduardo. Ya sabes que Rex Lapis se muere. Bueno, que aparece muerto en forma de dragón. No es ningún spoiler. A ver, volar, volar, volar. ¡A volar! Qué tonto. Bueno, ya regresaré después.
Alright.
No creo que vaya a llegar volando. ¿Entrar aquí? No. Demasiado camino de aquí a allá. A ver, ¿qué hora es? Uf. La 1:40. Ah, te decía José, estoy re seguro de que Rex Lapis es Songli. Ya tiene toda la pinta de que es un arconte. Está como como Venti, o sea, lo veías y daba toda la pinta de que era el arconte de Anemo, dicho y hecho. Además, Songli se la pasa hablando de contratos y lo importante que es cumplirlos. ¿Y Rex Lapis es el dios de qué? De los contratos. Hmm. Vaya, vaya, vaya.
Ay, en serio, ¿cómo me estás quitando? Qué molesto.
Ah, cayó rápido.
¿Contra qué te estás peleando, Dante?
Uno de los gordos esos que avientan agua.
本当に資料に書いてある通り悪意がいるぞ。
Y ahora uno de los que dispara fuego nivel 50... No, nivel 61. ¿Quién sigue?
Es lolis.
Se me olvidó que traía Chungyun. ¿Y ahora qué enemigo hay por aquí? No, ese.
よっ
Yosh,
よ
what
し
is
出
that?
発だ
Nunca entendí cómo será esta cosa de aquí.
冒険だ冒険冒険だ冒険いやいや全力攻撃だいやふっ冒険だ冒険とっへっへっはあ冒険だ冒険
札と白紙の紙がたくさんあるぞ。何に使うんだろうな。この模様、どこ、そうだ、講師がくれた近畿滅却。ふむ、仙人に関するものを講師が持ってるのも確かに怪しい。ああ、近畿滅却の札は目印として使うために作ったわけじゃないって龍雲釈風神君が言ってたよな。確か魔人戦争中に戦力を発揮するために作られたって。ファデュイが近畿滅却の札を書き写してるのは本物の効果を再現しようとしてるからか。戦争中に戦力を発揮する。危なそうだな。複雑だな。とにかく講師を。さて、そろそろ勝利と待ち合わせの時間だぞ。ここでない。総選儀式準備の旅の終点、確か敵歌集だったよな。早く行こうぜ。
¿Qué tan lejos está? Está muy lejos. De regreso en un minuto. Ya regresé.
Welcome.
De Jurassic Park. Dios, comadre. Mira quién está aquí.
時間通りだな。俺も今着いたところだ。軍玉閣はどうだった？
すごーく広かったぞ。そして豪華。たくさん。
確かに。その点においてはリーユへ一かもしれないな。行幸にもあったんだろ？どうだった？
お金持ちで気前が良くて親切な人。こいつはオイラと違って素直に話す幽変の方が
Porque te
信頼
faltan
で
3
きる
kilos
っ
de
て思
cerebro
って
por
る
eso.
んだ。
おや？国政にあったのか？何か言われたか？
仙人の時代は終わった。リーユエ七世さえもそれを受け入れなければリーユエの未来はどうなるって言われたな。
不敬だな。確かに同じ七世であっても何でも話す国政より行幸の方が典型的な商人だ。親切ではあるが裏がどうなっているかはわからない。ああ、彼女は実力で七世の座を手に入れたんだ。ただものじゃないぞ。軍玉閣はまさにその志の表れであり、彼女にとって2番目に大事なものだと聞いた。何があっても彼女は軍玉閣を捨てないだろう。
軍玉閣が2番目？
Me gusta más la voz en inglés de Chun-Li.
Y la voz en inglés de ese vato es bien profunda.
Bien potente. Sientes que si te grita te va a volar la cara de la pura presión.
Tiene la voz muy grave.
モーラさ
Eso sí.
そうだ、ファデュイに関する話もしたぞ。帝君が殺害された後、ファデュイはリーユエで悪いことをたくさんしてるって。
ファデュイはいつもそうだからな。想定のうちだ。ファデュイの目的は知らないが、彼らと接触するときはくれぐれも気をつけてくれ。
そういえば敵歌集にも操船儀式に必要な品があるのか。
ああ、今日は野生のルリウリを探すぞ。
ルリユリ？なんでここで？玉境内にたくさんあるぞ。警察層にもあるって聞いたけど。そうだ、ピンバーヤに会った時彼女は花を見てた。彼女に聞いてみるか。
いや、あれは人工栽培のもので使えないんだ。
A ver, voy a dejarle aquí y voy a reiniciar esto con la voz de... Oh, no, no voy a poder. Qué lástima.
ルリウリはかつて敵歌集に大量にあってな。人々の歌声を聞く花なんだ。敵歌集は昔陸地だった。魔人戦争で山が崩れ陸が水没し、そのせいでルリウリはほとんど絶滅してしまった。今城内には人工栽培のものが残っている。
Hola.
だがそれでも野生のルリウリが完全に消失したわけではない。野生のルリウリの香りは濃く、粉にして衛生香の香炉に入れることが操船の伝統だ。しかし花を手に入れるにはお前の力が必要になる。いや、その香りを濃くするために歌ってほしいんだ。
Que les cante.
お前歌は得意か？
Le pregunto a Song Lee a mi personaje, oye, ¿cantas bien? Y mi personaje dice, bueno, más o menos. No sé ni más o menos, dice, más o menos. Voy a poner eso.
ふーん、本当かな。
やってみればわかるさ。
Cabrón, a ver, vamos a poner la voz. Ah, mira, tengo un trofeo. Vamos a poner la voz en inglés. Al infinito y más allá, llega hasta el palacio flotante de Liyue. Hay 5 partojamotas. Vámonos. Idioma English. English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? Ahí está. A ver, Song Lee quiere que le cante los lirios. Cabrón. Que le canto. Les voy a cantar la de... A ver, chavos, ¿qué canción me recomiendan que le cante a los lirios de cristal?
It's time to sing whenever you're ready.
Cantaré la canción de puta.
El que no brinca que no salte, puta. Se fueron a brincar los pinches lirios. Ah, cabrón. Cantó la canción de Bárbara.
What happened? The flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because he sang a song from Mondstadt that they don't understand Kirillese?
Mala idea, sal del agua, sal del agua, sal del agua.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Ah, me tienen jodido con el agua.
We go. Get out of here. Adventure time. Everybody stand back.
Hijas de puta, flores malditas.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame. Excuse me.
Oh, mira, es esta vieja de los cuernos.
Are you searching for glaze lilies? Oh, hey! It's... What's her face? Paimon can't remember.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name.
Bueno, ya apareció ella hace poco.
That reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
No, no lo
We
hiciste.
found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
Oh, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the...
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry,
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the... Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago.
Incluido la Shogun Raiden de Inazuma, ya no son amigos. No fueron
Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. He is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without... But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Es un Adeptus.
Yes, I am a mix of human and Qilin. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here, you may have it if you wish.
We dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff too. Thanks, Ganyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Xiaolei sounds like he's already seen it all.
Porque es Rex Lapis.
Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
Estoy perfectamente seguro. Maldito.
Adventure time.
Es una lástima. Pero me voy a tener que desvelar.
Oh, ow! Where did that come from? No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on, let's go!
Aquí. Antes de irnos. Solo tengo dos. Interesante. Ojo, no lo creo.
What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and the Fatui?
This atmosphere is highly abnormal. It seems as though something big has happened. We should ask around a little.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liu Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millelith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance? Neither path is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gates.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng funeral parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, Traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean
No
by
mames, ya no
looking
puedo.
for the fuse?
Ya no puedo nivelear los talentos de Chongyeon.
Qué mal, lo siento.
Necesito un material que nada más Divalin lo saca. Nomás lo saca después del nivel 70. Es de color dorado. Dice Divalin Sight. No sé qué chingado sea eso. Pero imagínate si Divalin nomás lo puedo matar una vez a la semana. Pinche probabilidad que me tiene que dar para que me pueda dar esta cosa, güey. No mames. No tengo ninguna de esas.
Pues ni modo, no tienes que esperar.
Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, he must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something
Espera
really
tantito el
bad.
micrófono, bueno mames.
Perdón.
Well, where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
Vaya. Sombra dorada, buscando la verdad. Llegaste al centro del vórtice. ¿Qué espera? Pues... Ah, esta es la batalla contra este güey entonces. Pues sí, son los personajes más fuertes. Voy a empezar. Cayó Eduardo.
Se fue
Sí.
Eduardo.
Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of Mora. This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few more
Cállate,
go missing.
Paimon.
Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you, but even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true. Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Pop, quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia...
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
¿Quién crees?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway.
Ah, sí, obsérvame.
The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of when she faces a worthy opponent, She will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Ay, cállate, Paimon, no vas a hacer nada. Más que a
Oh,
ver.
so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Not bad, not bad.
Ya te estás peleando
Poor
con
timing.
Sí.
suerte con eso. Batalla de mucho.
This is not
A fine opportunity.
Teamwork is dream. We go.
Me temó el viajero, pero se lo va a pelar. Vamos a ver qué le doy al viajero. Listo.
swift and merciful. Fury Flame, attack! But how?
Tira quemarropa, qué cochino es eso.
Adventure time.
Passable effort.
Suficiente.
Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more seriously. Haha, good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. No use hiding back there. Something else catch your eye?
Get out of here. Off we go. Everybody stand back.
One with the flame. Fury Flame, attack!
You've got some skills. Got you. All you do is run. No use hiding back there. My turn.
Adventure time.
This.
This is not the end.
Mierda.
Does your luck run out? All you do is run.
Ahí está. Derrotado.
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But That's about as far as you'll get.
Wow.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Okay. Tartagalia.
Not that. But this is going to cost you!
Qué rollo con todo ese poder electro. Bueno.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
One with my blade. Submit for judgment.
Off we go! Why do they never miss?
One with my blade.
¿Cómo te va?
Estoy en la segunda etapa, es la difícil, la primera no fue tan difícil. ¿Liberó una ballena?
Exacto. Y te
One with my
Ven
blade.
aquí.
Everybody stand!
Die.
Submit for judgment. Swift and merciful.
¡Eso es todo! Yeah.
¿Qué pedo, Dante? Da like.
Normal again.
Well then, time to cool off.
Si ahora quieres que me calme.
It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through.
La carga del legado del mal le ha pasado factura a mi cuerpo. No tuve tiempo de pensar.
And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Senora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity.
Lo que se me hizo mamalón fue cuando detuvo el ataque de Child con aire y después hizo el movimiento de roca con el pie. Eso es lo que estaría con madre, que el viajero tenga todos los elementos al mismo tiempo, no que tengas que pasar de estatua a estatua. O sea, como lo que hizo ahorita este güey, combinó agua y rayo, estaba increíble.
This battle has already left me satisfied.
De hecho, o sea, cuando tienes a Clyde no puedes cambiar el elemento, es lo malo, pero históricamente hablando, él es uno de los Harbingers, Tartagalia, no sé.
No sé qué es eso.
Pues es un título que se le da a alguno de los más poderosos, que según pueden manipular más de un elemento.
Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one
para
another.
mí, te voy a decir la neta, Dante, a mí se me hizo más difícil la primera fase que la segunda.
¿Se te hizo qué?
Se me hizo más difícil la primera fase que la segunda.
A mí, la verdad, no. O sea, en la primera sí me tumbó 2 veces al viajero. Pero con los demás no. O sea, tuve oportunidad de defenderme y curarme con Bennett. Bennett le metía bastante daño de fuego. Y aparte traigo a Chongyun. Y como estaba en fase de agua, también Razor le hacía un chingo de daño. O sea, podía estarme curando.
Pero,
y con el viajero tuve la oportunidad de usar mucho los escudos y el poder de la tierra.
Verdad que se mira bien mamón en la fase esa, todo Dios a la
Está
verga.
increíble. Y luego de repente saca una ballena.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Ah, sí, eso no es... Eso de ataque de hecho te lo muestra de la primera fase, pero creo que no le diste ni tiempo para que hiciera
No
eso.
le di tiempo.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest
A mí
still
lo que no me
beckons.
gustaba era un ataque
Given
que
that the
tenía.
Gnosis wasn't taken by
Espérame.
anyone,
Que...
then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least.
Yo sabía que Song Li es el maldito Rex Lapis.
It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries
Aquí
of
ya están
contracts.
afirmando que Rex Lapis sigue vivo. ¿Quién se parece al que está en la estatua del arconte de Geo? Simplemente porque trae una puta capucha, pero es Song Li.
As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
No mames, nigga.
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are weaker than I. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think otherwise. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the GR Archon in the Archon War. and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon stone spears ever
A ver, ¿y por
since.
qué me estás contando todo tu plan, pedazo de imbécil?
If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago.
Güey, despégate el
How can
puto
an ancient
micrófono
god
de la
appear in a
cara.
world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Yo sé que Zhongli se va a presentar como Rex Lapis en cualquier momento. A la madre, ¿qué es esa cosa?
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
¿Quieres que te diga quién es Rex Lapis?
He's already gone. That guy is fast.
Calla.
What's going on?
No. No, no puede ser. ¿Ningguang? No. A ver. No, no puede ser Ningguang.
Paimon's exhausted.
Mira, no te voy a decir... No te voy... Ah, puta madre. Nomás déjame decirte algo, güey.
A ver.
Mira, nomás te voy a decir mi opinión. No te voy a decir quién es Rex Lapis. Nomás te voy a decir que Barbatos es mejor dios que Rex Lapis al chile. Eso sí te lo pongo de plano. O sea, el dios de Mondstadt es mejor.
¿Por qué lo dices?
Luego vas a entender por qué.
A ver.
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we
Para
came
mí
out of
Rex
the
Lapis
Golden
es
House,
como que...
we
güey,
really
es...
wouldn't have known which way to go.
No quiero
Did
ni
we
hablar
make it in time?
de eso.
Is the
Tú
Overlord
primero
of the
checa
Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed
luego
Liyue
vas a
yet, has
entender.
it?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What
Oh,
are you
los
doing on the
adeptos.
Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? But all of you were supposed to be the Guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
Manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Looks like I went too far.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Everybody stand back!
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
The ancient gods
heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in Julia's card. Whoa! It's Madame Ping's shockwave. This grade's really strong.
Flash for a shield to the world. Touch me and kill, Joy. We've only just begun. It isn't time for break-in. My work, we've only just begun. Looks like I went too far.
The blood of the Chelian, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
The princess was going to fight in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
It's time. Flash free.
Over here!
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Off we go.
Adventure time!
Over here.
Too far.
There you are.
I will end. I guess this is it.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
This isn't good.
Adventure time!
Off we go.
It isn't time. My duty.
The Fatui numbers are thinning.
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this fight off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Se la volaron, estuvo increíble.
I know. Ya sé cómo te sientes.
Todos los bufos que me dieron los Septus, puta, eso sí que era poder.
Ah, sí, eso sí que era poder.
Cuando el otro güey me metió con un bufo de super velocidad, dije a la madre. Déjà vu. Reja madre, estaba genial. Mira, gemas.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
No te escucho ni madres, déjame acabar esto.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
Stay away.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Tú no hiciste nada.
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Wow. Me quitaron todo el sueño de putazo. Ahora sí me decías. José.
Dime.
Me decías.
Que ya no puedo subir más a Zhongli los talentos porque necesito materiales que son exageradamente difíciles de conseguir. Estamos hablando de materiales que nada más puedo conseguir como una hora en algo semanal, güey. O sea, nomás lo puedo conseguir del boss de Divaling, güey. Y eso nomás se hace una vez a la semana.
Pues ya ni modo, güey, pues de qué.
Chongyun ya no lo puedo subir de nivel en los talentos. Ahora sí me voy a tardar más en poder conseguir ese específico material dorado. Entonces
Pues
ahora
sí,
nomás
eso es
me queda...
evidente, güey. Ahora no te queda más que seguirlo subiendo de nivel y seguir intentándolo una vez por semana y ya. Es más que
ya
obvio.
Ya lo tengo nivel 80, Chongyun.
Está bien.
Y el arma también lo tengo nivel 80. El único dato son los talentos, que pues yo creo que el nivel 6 está bien, porque siempre mientras iba niveleando Chongyun, nivelaba los talentos. Y tengo un chingo de las cosas esas para Chongyun de los talentos y también del otro material, a excepción del material que ocupo de Divaling, que ese no lo vi venir. pues ahora lo único que me queda, güey, es enfocarme en mejorar ahora un segundo personaje. Y no lo pienso hacer porque no hay ningún personaje aparte de Chongyun que me agrade. A lo mejor Sucros, pero pues si tengo suerte y me sale un personaje de 5 estrellas, cuando vaya a hacer los deseos, que nomás necesito hacer 2 tiradas de 10 deseos, entonces a lo mejor consigo algo dorado, porque nomás necesitaba 13 deseos para conseguir algo dorado.
Te va a salir un libro. Te va a salir un libro.
Lo dudo. Lo voy a hacer en el banner de Tartaglia.
Güey, despégate el micrófono de la puta nariz.
No sé por qué suena así, güey, la neta.
Madre. A ver, ¿qué hora es? Su perra madre.
¿Qué hora es?
Las 3 de la mañana. 3:30. Tengo que entrar a trabajar a las 8.
Échale ganas.
Sí.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything...
Esto va a estar interesante. Zhongli, en el lugar donde está el cuerpo que usaba antes. De regreso.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And... you! You're also...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No, don't let her get to you! You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
I knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
Yo sabía que era Zhongli.
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
Yo sabía que él era.
sanctimonious.
What?
Felicidades, ahora percátate de la mierda de Dios que es.
No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
El micrófono.
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyric goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding of Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even tried to understand the heart of the people. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears of her colleague Child, just as I had requested. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for walking that path with me, Traveler. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors. and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa.
Ah, fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Paimon can't absorb so much information at once. So, Zhongli, what sort of contract did you sign with the Cryo Archon? Paimon's so curious.
One of the clauses of our contract was not to divulge any of its contents.
Ugh, you're so petty. Paimon can't. So, Zhongli.
One of the clauses of our...
You're so petty.
Ya sabía yo que este güey era el arconte de Geo. Qué decepcionante. ¿Qué le pudo llevar a poner a todo Liyue en este puto peligro? ¿Qué fue lo que le ofreció el arconte de Crío? Y no te dice qué le ofreció el arconte de Crío.
No, deja tú, güey. Ese no es el pedo. El pedo es la manera de pensar del dios. El mundo se está muriendo y es como que guess I die. O sea, es como que voy a morir. Te da a entender que como si fuese benevolente, güey, pero por eso te dije que es mejor Barbatos que ese güey. Porque le dio la cosa esa de la tierra, del Geo,
Génesis.
a la vieja, a la villana, a la que atacó a Barbatos, a Venti. Y Venti de perdido quiso darle pelea. Y este güey es como que, tenlo, me vale verga. Como que, güey.
No, no fue así.
Hizo un trato, pero eso es muy estúpido, honestamente. Por eso me decepcioné bastante con él. Te digo, mis pinches respetos para Anemo, el dios del Anemo, lo que sea, barbaro. Pero Xiangyun, algo que te da a entender es de que...
Zhongli.
Sí, Zhongli. Algo que te da a entender es de que Anemo, cada 7 de las 7 tierras que existen, cada dios o arcon o como se llamen, representa algo y representa un elemento. El dios del viento representa el dios del
Ahorita me dices, tengo que escuchar algo.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folk...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect...
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the minister...
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds... Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look. Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa!
Habla, cabrón.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Por fin habló.
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Why, you... Were you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless? If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that in private.
Rex Lapis. Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
So...
thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti. Could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an...
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing to debate.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea. It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time.
Pendejo.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have...
Vaya.
think that the Geo Archon had signed a contract with the Cryo Archon. I wonder what the contents of their agreement were.
Paimon doesn't care who you are. Making a deal with the Tsaritsa is super dangerous.
Be that as it may. Since Morax is the god who understands the basis of contracts the best, he's definitely given this some thought.
Well, that's true. Morax himself called it the contract to
Sí,
end
compa.
all contracts.
I trust that we will witness the truth and its denouement play out.
Pues se acabó. ¿Qué pasó?
Te iba a decir lo que no te puede decir. Que literal
There are
decía
rumors
que
abound.
Barbatos es el dios de Anemo, del viento, y simboliza la libertad. Y Shongyun,
Los contratos y Raiden, la eternidad.
exacto. Pero fíjate que no tiene ningún sentido porque hizo un contrato para como tipo jubilarse, güey. O sea, digo, ¿what?
El contrato que termina todos los contratos.
Se me hizo estúpido. Y la siguiente tierra va a ser la tierra del agua.
Del rayo.
Del rayo.
Raiden es la arconte del rayo.
¿No era Inazuma?
Y nos somos la tierra del rayo.
Chinga. Yo tenía entendido que era del agua. ¿Qué pedo? Bueno, X. Ahora que entiendo, la siguiente tierra va a estar más enfocada en un lugar parecido como a Japón, según dicen. Y la tierra del hielo va a estar más enfocada a Rusia. ¿Tú crees?
Aunque la del fuego no esté dedicada a México.
Ya sé, o peor, que esté dedicada a los africanos.
A
No,
Chile.
gracias. Pero esté más enfocada en algo así como del Imperio Romano.
En Venezuela.
En Venezuela.
Todos ahora están muriendo de hambre a la verga.
Te recomiendo que trates de matar a Clyde con un equipo en
¿A quién?
matchmaking. A Clyde, al Gatlia, como se diga.
Child.
Sí, es que lo puedes matar una vez a la semana, así que te recomiendo que lo hagas. Lo acabo de hacer, güey, con unos vatos. Yo era el único güey con el nivel 79 y güey, nos hizo mierda a todos los jugadores. A todos, tuvimos que repetirlo. Y lo repetimos y ganamos. Pero no mames, güey, se nos hizo bien estúpido. Era un Diluc, yo de Chongyun y una Kejin. Y nos one-shotó a los tres en un golpe.
Pendejos.
Y nomás quedó Bárbara. Y la hicieron mierda. No, me soy bien gracioso. Bueno.
¿Dónde está la casa de la moneda de nuevo? Eso no es. Yo creo que estaba a las afueras. Sí, acá está. Entrar a la casa dorada. Fua. Puedo hacerla de nivel 60. Te puedo dar un chingo de cosas. ¿Qué es eso? Final del gladiador. Es una flor. A ver, voy a intentarlo. Es fin de diseño original. Solo recompensa, ¿quieres continuar?
What's your business here?
A ver, ya vamos de nuevo.
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle. Coming. Passable effort. So quick to flee. Poor timing. Run all you like! Fairy Flame! Attack! You've made some progress. Passable effort. Cowering already? Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more seriously. All you do is run.
Adventure time! Everybody stand back!
You've got some skills. No use hiding back there.
Why do they never miss? Off we go!
Forth, my blade. This. Submit for justice.
Esta es la tercera fase.
Your strength is praiseworthy. I too shall use all of mine. So, don't you dare disappoint me. Foul legacy, the devouring deep.
Adventure time! Off we go! Couldn't break the curse.
¿Me estabas hablando, Dante?
No, qué mierda. Estoy peleando contra Nobel otra vez. Veamos.
Off we go! Off we go! Adventure time! That's gonna hurt in the morning. Couldn't break
No,
the curse.
Die here.
Western Merciful, submit for judgment.
¿Dónde está este cabrón?
One with my blade.
I taste blood. Die here.
Vamos. Baja. Eso.
I taste blood.
Es que no me gusta.
A touch of frost. Spirit blade.
Eso. Bueno, lo derroté una segunda vez. ¿Qué hora es? Puta. Debería estar dormido, es un chingo. No entiendo cómo es que Morax pudo ser el dios de los contratos. Diona. Tienen que ser otros 10 deseos entonces. Deseos. Muy bien. Bien, hasta que llegó esto.
Que ya te vas a dormir.
Algo así.
Está bien.